I did things out of order, don't mind me. Anyway, it's time for another Lurkit game. This time it's Traveler's Refrain. Best way to explain this is take something akin to like Curse of the Dead Gods, Dandy Ace, any of those. Pull back the roguelite aspect of it a bit as far as I can tell. I haven't really dug into it enough yet to be guaranteeing how deeper mechanics work, as in there's not been a single death or anything like that so far in the bit I played, so I can't guarantee how mechanics of that type work. But just in how it moves and how it feels, those were the first things that come to mind. But its main claim to fame seems to be that all of your magic is music-based. As such, it's probably going to require a bit of timing or at least a bit of speed to get through. I did have one song in the little bit of testing I did, and boy did it take a little bit for me to get used to doing it, because it definitely does not give you a lot of time. So, look forward to me fumbling those as we go, because I'm sure that's gonna happen. Other than that, it seems very interesting, so this should be a good time. We're gonna go ahead and delete the save that I have, because I played for like 10 minutes or so just to make sure I had the audio balanced well enough, and, you know, the usual, is this actually something I can play or want to play? Let's go.
For those of you who have given up on a dream, and know the thing called loss, the dream came again, the itch, the burning desire. Suddenly I'm awake in a cold sweat as she flashed through my memories. But I know, without a shadow of a doubt, that nothing can go back to the way things were. Because time passes as it does.
Time does have a way of wandering off without us. And now we're here, having pulled ourselves up through the ground. I'm sure that's not a concerning sign or anything. We did come up through a white flower, though, similar to the ones that the robot with a basket of flowers was carrying. But guess we can't go that way. This is just your little credit sequence here. You just run up this way and the credits will pop up occasionally as neat things happen to the sides. Art-wise, this game seems really nice.
I wandered aimlessly, searching for a way back to her. I was eventually guided to this place, this wonderful, magical, despicable place.
Well, that took a turn.
As I stumbled through the darkness of that forsaken forest, hearing only the wind through the trees and the creak of cogs, I remembered a forgotten song.
Melancholy song or nostalgic song? Is that the right phrasing? Wouldn't it be a melancholic song? I mean, based on the current tone, it really does feel like it would be a melancholy song, but he's also pretty hooked on previous time. So we'll go with nostalgic. I like that idea better.
Strange. In all my days, I've never seen markings like this before. Something feels off. My head buzzing.
That doesn't seem good. Oh, never mind. It was just chapter 1 appearing in our brain. I'm sure that's fine. Anything over here? Nope. Can't go that way right now. Okay. How about this way?
I saw her. I saw her in all her glory from across the room.
Well, that sounds like a good
Before I'd
thing.
even realized the world had changed. I had changed, and I couldn't go back. Not even if I tried.
But did you try, though? Nervously or confidently? I mean, if he's approaching somebody for the first time, I don't know if this guy strikes me as the confident type. Like, maybe outwardly he'd be confident, but I think inwardly he'd be nervous. That's just the feel I'm getting here.
So... No, it can't be.
Well, whoever it was, they're disappearing, so that's not to worry too much about it. I'm sure that's fine.
Cold sweat beaded and dripped down my neck as the ground began to rumble.
Yeah, usually isn't a good sign.
I heard the snaps of twigs and the groans of gears.
Big machine coming?
A hideous creature had emerged.
Oh, that's less than ideal.
We had moments to act.
Yeah, you know what? That is a bit of a creature. I'm gonna get a better look at it, though. It's got hoses coming off of it. It's got a big chompy mouth. It's also very slow, and apparently has a range limit. So, funny thing, in testing, I actually ran all the way back over to the other pathway, figuring, oh, it must just expect me to go that way, then. But no, they expect you to just wait that creature out and continue on your little journey here. Which seems a little odd to me.
What in the world?
Especially when he has that reaction, you would figure he would have, like, run to somewhere else and then be wore out from running from the thing. And then have that reaction rather than running back past where it just was and then saying, what in the world was that? Like, it's a small thing, but it just seems odd to me.
I attempted to enter, but it was too dark to see.
Alright. Dark and spooky cave. Not that being where all the bitey plants is much better, but you know.
Clearing, bearing witness to a sight that defied explanation.
Hey, ABC.
Hello there.
I don't know, that seems easy to explain. It's just half a robot hanging from a tree. Okay, ABC.
Welcome, traveler.
How did you...
It's good you're here. Yes, very good.
Is it that good, though? You seem to be missing all of your limbs.
What? You were expecting me?
That is an interesting twitch he's got going on there.
Of course we have been expecting you. Why wouldn't we?
Yeah, I suppose that's a fair counterpoint. Why wouldn't they expect us?
Right. Care to explain why?
No. Very funny you are.
You're the one sounding like a jokester right now, Mr. Robot.
Haven't lost your wits yet, have you?
Yeah, debatable on that one.
I try.
Good, good. Now, you have questions, don't you?
Where is it?
Where's what?
The machine. The one which grants wishes.
Oh, that does sound like a useful machine to find.
Believe in such tales, do you?
Hey there, Callista, how's it going?
The forest has spoken. You are not ready for such things.
Forrest is a jerk.
Please, I need to know.
You long for her, don't you?
Stupid mind-reading robot.
What? How would you...
We will speak soon, yes. But for now, I bid you farewell.
You know, it's a hell of a thing to just say farewell to somebody when you're the one who can't move. I could just stand here all day. Hopefully it at least ended in a good way. I mean, an emotional roller coaster would imply ups and downs. Hopefully there was more ups to it than downs. In these troubled times, pay it forward, V. Okay.
Wow, that was weird.
And honestly, at the rate things have been going, emotional roller coasters seem to be fairly common right about now. Yeah, that's fair. I'm sure there's going to be some time needed to unpack everything that would have happened in a situation like that. So we're going up here. Well, this seems helpful. The fire's not attacking me, and it's burning all the things in my way. You know what? Why take those? That seems good enough for me. Oh, he's seeing things again. It's interesting that there's just all this random machinery strewn about this place. But you'll notice that the machinery matches up with what he's seeing in his little memory visions there. So I wonder what happened here. I have to assume there's a lot that we're gonna learn along the way. Though how much actually will get explained is a whole other question.
Fire. Where is it leading me? These visions. Ugh.
Whatever happened here must have happened a while ago with how overgrown all the wood paneling here is. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to have been that long ago, but it would have to have been at least a few years.
And there it was, a beacon in the dark, seemingly as if it had been put there just for me.
Maybe it was. They were expecting you after all.
To light my path, to guide my way.
We got a thing. And we can now burn things of our own volition, as we can control the lantern. Ta-da! We get goodies for lighting the flames. Now, it says that the lantern can burn certain objects. I have a very different interest in mind right now. Because remember how it said that cave was too dark for us to see? I would figure we'll be able to go back and then use the lantern there. I didn't try this when I was testing the game, so I'm curious to see if there's actually going to be something there. Oh, yeah. That whole situation has been hitting hard for a lot of people. And especially if you realize what the connection was as time goes, it definitely starts changing how you're gonna feel about a situation like that. Okay, we can't actually go back right now. So we're gonna have to find another way to get back to that cave. Well, it is what it is. We'll get there eventually. And on the bright side, just because a VTuber's graduating doesn't mean they're done. But who knows what's going to happen with any of them, since apparently a lot of them have been graduating, but that seems to happen around this time every year. Every year we have another batch of them that are done. Or ready to move on to something else. Either one, really. Okay, so the lights are going that way, but what is up here? Okay, this is where we got the lantern from. That's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure that I wasn't misremembering the pathing. Gotta make sure of all these things after all.
I found myself in a familiar place. Sometimes such a thing can be comforting, but something was different.
Okay, different how? Oh, yeah, there's glowing orbs here now. Is that the difference? Here, add some cheery fire. Maybe that'll make things feel better. Yeah, I find myself not as concerned as the average person when these big batches of graduations happen. Because the majority of them tend to be like your larger scale, frequently a lot of corporate ones, sometimes some indies also have graduations around now. But I just never spent any time with any of those, particularly. Because that was always just, like, too big for me. Like, I knew myself well enough that I knew I would never be able to actually spend time in that chat because it would be too much for me. So I just never... I never end up having the same... I suppose melancholy would be the right word around this time because of just a lack of attachment. Like, I understand that it hits a lot of people hard, but like I was talking about before, it also isn't a guaranteed end for those people as entertainers, streamers, etc. Because a lot of them do come back.
An unwavering fear in my bones. I was reminded of how I felt before her so long ago.
I mean, he's talking about fear, so presumably he used to be kind of cowardly. Now we get our combat tutorial, even though I just did all of this a minute ago, fighting the things on the path. I guess you were expected to run past those instead of fighting them. Yeah, who was the other big one that... Oh. It's actually labeling the song that's playing based on what we answered. Because I actually answered this a little differently when I did the testing, just to see how this would change. And it did actually change the wording there. I forget who... God damn it, hand. Ended up bumping the mic. Don't mind me. Yeah, I forget the name of the other large VTuber that graduated right, or at least that was mentioned graduating, either right before or right after Gura. That got a lot of people upset, though. That one in particular apparently is more or less guaranteed to still be around. They just aren't connected with what they were connected with anymore. Hey there, Cyan, how's it going? Yeah, I don't know enough on this topic, basically, is what I'm getting at, to really be able to speak in depth on VTuber graduations and such. The short version being just try not to stress about it too much. I've been fine. Tired, as I always am, but fine. So, I will say, I find myself saying that about a lot of things in more common culture. Just the immediate reaction of, I don't know enough to talk about this. It exists.
This song together.
Okay, so 4 of those increases our yellow meter up there. Okay. Go ahead and put that in my pocket.
No. How? How could this be here?
Again, they were expecting you, so they would have prepared things specially for you.
My mind raced, distracted. I could not fathom how this place, a place once full of love and life, was here now in this forest.
Have you considered the fact that this might all be in your head? Okay, so we can upgrade ourselves. You'll notice we get a selection of 3 weapons, but we only have the lantern right now. It looks like 9 songs. Okay. Well, we can afford to upgrade the lantern, so we may as well upgrade it for now. Burning things is usually helpful, after all. But if this is here... Is there something else on the other path? Or... is my memory doing the thing again? There wasn't actually, in fact, another path. Wait, yeah, this is the cave. This is the cave I wanted to look at. This I didn't do when I did the test, because I didn't even pay attention to go that way. But if you're telling me to go to the left, what if I just immediately ignored you and went to the right? The answer is death. Death appears to be the answer to that question. Ah, more of the red stuff that we used to upgrade our weapon. We'll definitely want as much of that as we can get. And I'm sure, so it was a good thing I popped my head in here. Once again, ignoring your directions, video game. Even though it keeps leading to a dead end, I'm gonna ignore it every time in case there's a hidden item. I'm gonna assume these are spikes? Yep. Okay. Huh. Magic path nonsense. We should be able to pull a few more upgrades out of this. Yeah, we got 112 now, so I think that's enough for another upgrade? Question mark? So I think the next upgrade was like 100 something. It might be 120 though, so we'd be out of range of that one. We'll find out. That's the easiest way to check, is to just actually go look at the damn thing. And we'd have to go back this way anyway. 150. I remembered even worse than I thought. That's fine. Based on how the testing went, we don't need anything else right now anyway.
Looks like it opened.
In these troubled times, pay it forward. We saw that sign before, but it was facing a different direction.
What? Hello?
There's that flower-carrying robot I was talking about. Just running away from us. What if we went the opposite direction again? Once again, my greed is rewarded. And there's another music note over there. We can't reach that from here, though. So... I mean, we could just, like, sling the lantern as a grappling hook, right? Just hook it around the pole there. We can totally ignore the fact that we don't have enough of a tether on this lantern to do that. I'm sure it'd be fine. We'd figure it out. We could probably, like, twine a bunch of these leaves into more rope. It'll be okay. Just completely ignore the fact that it probably wouldn't hold. Oh, I see. It's timing. I did this accidentally with perfect timing the first time.
Looks like it opened.
So I didn't even realize that that had actually like a timing mechanic to it. Reminder to self, see what's glowing behind those trees. I presume you mean those trees over there. Also, take note of the robotic heads that are popping out of these logs. Everything around here seems to be mechanical. Like, at least at the end of it, it's mechanical. But surrounded by nature of some description. In this case, old dead logs. Which is an interesting idea. Makes you wonder if somebody put the machinery in the log, or if the log grew around the machinery. And I suppose that's something we may get an answer for in the future. guess I can't complain too much, though. Is if they weren't covered in moss and leaves and things, we wouldn't be able to burn them nearly as well, probably. Take the fuse and then go about my business. Okay, all the torches are lit, except this one.
Looks like it opened.
One I couldn't quite see. And now the path is open, but what's across the bridge that had nothing to do with what I was doing? Those of you who explore shall be rewarded. I presume this will spit me out over by where that note I saw was. This is another path I didn't take when I tested this because, you know, why would I go run around and do side stuff when I can wait till y'all are here to see it? Okay, so we have half of a music sheet now. We just need the other half so we can get a little more verve. Not that we can use it yet anyway. Which once we gain the ability to use that, I'll address another thing. One thing at a time. Yep, there's another wooden statue of someone who's just left us again.
I remembered the time when she first came to see me play.
Okay, so he is a musician, but we kind of guessed that already, I would figure.
Her face lit up as she watched me perform.
I mean, if it's the first time having somebody you care about come see you perform, you would be both of these things. But in the line of thought I'm giving him right now, he would be nervous.
No, why these memories?
Well, there's an instrument stuck to the log there. Can't seem to do anything with it.
I don't ever remember seeing this guy around, although something about him seems oddly familiar.
Maybe you just didn't notice him.
You never could keep yourself together, could you, Zeke?
Small crowd in this bar here, I gotta say.
Bella, I always could count on you for support. Ah, you. I just want to forget you. Your deals always worked out in your favor.
Some manner of manager, perhaps? That he did not get on well with?
Sophia.
And now we have a name for our flighty little statue here.
How I wish I could go back to this moment.
Perhaps you have your chance to. Also, take note of the fact that we took actual damage from each of those memories. Da-na-na-na. And this is what I was talking about. If I hold right click, he'll start playing music. We have to quickly tap the directional keys in order to play the notes that we need for whatever song we're playing. In this case, left, right for the Song of Remedy. And that gives us one tick of health back in exchange for one tick of verve. There we go. Instrument obtained. And our first song unlocked. And now I can just kind of do that whenever I want. As long as I have the verve to spend. So we may as well get all that health back. There we go. And as you might imagine, you can't move while playing music, considering you have to use the directional keys that you're using to move in order to play the music. Be rather tricky, wouldn't it? Down here. Ah, another piece of paper. I just ran immediately to the right when I tested this, so I didn't even know that was down there. Yeah, now we just need to find one more and then we'll get another point of verve. And these verve plants, as it says right there, each give you back 1 point of verve for each one you open up. Why these plants have musical pollen, I have no idea.
Time passes as it does.
Well, yeah, time waits for no man. I have no idea what that text is trying to say on those load screens, by the way. It always does not manage to finish.
Need to heal.
I'm just gonna tank the damage through that. There we go. Because we can just heal, so it doesn't matter. And when I tried to dash away from all of these, it was very rare that I succeeded. Because I tried that in testing and just didn't bother this time. Fucked it up. There we go. He's one of the good ones. Okay. May as well talk to one of the good ones then. Okay.
Well, there's a huge door blocking my way.
That does seem inconvenient when you put it that way.
Yes. The ancients were very crafty indeed. If you explore the area, you might find more things you need to open the door.
You know, I feel like you could have been much more descriptive than 4 things, but sure, we'll go with it.
Fun.
Oh, off we go then. The first one's pretty easy to get to, and it's the only one I know how to get to. So I didn't go any further than this. Day 1065. I've been wandering through this area for days, trying to figure out how to open that blasted door. There seems to be some sort of mechanism hidden in the bush nearby. I've decided to set up camp to make sure no one can interfere. Well, you didn't do a very good job of that, since I'm about to interfere. Yeah, it seems like we just have to light 4 torches, basically, and then the door will open. Just gotta make our way over to the torches. I have no idea how complicated the other ones are gonna be. Probably not very, based on that first one. Oh, there's the flower robot again.
Welcome, traveler.
How did you know my name?
Your name is Traveler?
Coincidence or not?
Who knows?
We greet all wanderers of the forest in this way. Call me Gearman.
What are you doing here?
I come to pay respect to the ones from before. They laid flowers in these sacred spots, as now do I.
Fair enough.
They have a great deal to teach us. I see sorrow in your eyes. Is that why you've come here?
Probably.
Your silence speaks volumes.
Can you tell me more about this place?
Only that you must keep your wits about you.
Well, we gathered that already.
The forest holds great power, and not all are as friendly as I. I take it you've lost something dear to you?
You're also very nosy, aren't you?
Yes. I'm here to get it back.
Well, you're chasing Sophia, so shouldn't it be get her back?
Follow the path before you, and if you are ever lost, be sure to connect with the other travelers, and to be wary of the ones like me.
There are others like me in the forest?
Each traveler is here with their own purpose and their own quest to fulfill.
Interesting. So what is this shrine?
Well, it looks like it's got the same kind of notes we were using for music on it, so I wonder if we can, like, travel to these using music notes or something.
These holy stones protect this place. The obelisks were erected by people of the past. Look closely. You may be able to decipher its symbols.
How do you know so much about this place?
Been here a while, probably. May have been given information about this place by someone else. You got options.
I've been here a long time.
See? There you go. Easy.
I felt a lingering presence in the air. A melody that resonated through me.
What? There we go. We have our first attack spell, I suppose. Oh, I see. Oh, goddammit. It's a little weird to use. Because it expects you to input the command and then tell it a direction. But more often than not, I kept getting it wrong because I was trying to input the song. I feel like that following the mouse might not be a bad idea. And maybe that's easier on controller. I don't know. Still working on figuring that thought out more fully. But that's the song right there that was just being played by us, so that confirms my suspicion at the very least to a certain degree. So I guess if we find more of those, we'll learn more songs. Yeah, against basic enemies like this, it does not seem like it's really that worth it to me to use my magic music. If anything, I'm probably better off saving my magic for healing. Right now, at least. Getting kind of Magica vibes from how kind of fiddly the magic is. Oh, you again, huh? Anyway, running away. Oh, I can't run away. Huh, well that's inconvenient. Aha, he fears my spike wall. Not gonna lie, don't think it actually did anything. But I'm gonna tell myself that the spike wall scared him. Because it will make me feel better. Elevator? That I had no consent about stepping on once I activated it. You friendly?
Welcome, traveler.
You seem friendly.
Hello?
Let me help you see the land.
Oh, he just gives me map information. So there's some kind of shrine down below where we were. So I'm going to want to head over there at some point. This probably has meaning, but not yet. There's more of the birds that we just saw on that other pedestal. Maybe if I light this, something will happen. Oh, never mind. This is just the thing for the door. Oh, we walked all that way and only activated one of those, huh? Interesting. Also, I would have figured that this would have been the top right one. What do I know? Maybe they're not all in the directions that they light. Only one way to find out, and that's to go get all the other torches lit.
Looks like it opened.
This one I think was in our way before. Yeah, this is where I was blocked off of from initially, I think.
I couldn't believe my eyes. There it was. Again, standing before me. It was almost as if the forest was trying to get me to recount those memories.
Oh yeah, the fountain. Oh, now he just sits there and plays his music while we spend our stuff at the fountain. Okay, so it'll make a healing font near me to heal us an additional point if I get that upgrade. Ah, there we go. Extra spikes come out of that. Okay. I think we want both of these. I think we want the Unbridled Nature and the Well of Restoration. It would be tempting to get the Glyph of Charred Earth, but I think making the magic a little more effective will make me more inclined to use it. Thus opening our repertoire up more. So there were arrows on this screen. Or a arrow, that's just to leave. Okay, never mind. It was worth a shot. Oh, and we... Oh, okay, so the deer-headed thing was the fountain. That makes sense. So we've got 2 yellow exclamation points. Those are the torches we've lit already, if you look at where they're positioned. Which means there's one over there, and one apparently that we were right next to. Let's head back this way to go get that torch. Yeah, there it is right there. How I get there might be a little different. Yeah, we need to go through down here, it looks like. Go through this cave and end up there somewhere. Or at least that's my best guess. Whether I'm right about that or not, we'll figure out as we go. Okay, it's full of traps. One thing that might hold this back a little bit is timing seems a little off to me, but that might just be slow brain. Because as I mentioned in the post as I started this, and I think I mentioned during as well already once, I am not at 100% today. I ended up waking up a couple times in the middle of the night last night again, which is never helpful. I'm not bad off, just like ever so slightly off. Can't believe I got away with that one. Really feels like I should have gotten hit at least once in that one. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's not the timing as much as the hitboxes that are not quite lining up with what I think they are. It's possible. Or the iframes don't line up as I think they do on the dash. That's also an equal option. Okay. So I would need a means of reaching in there with fire. And even at our full swing, the lantern doesn't reach far enough for that. So presumably we'll get a song that'll let us reach in there? That seems like the most logical explanation for that one. So I'll just need to remember that this square over here has something we can light that will do, I don't know what, but presumably something good. Also, in case you didn't catch it, that blue meter up there is what I'm using to dodge, so if I run out of that, I can't dodge anymore. And it'd be a real shame to suddenly not be able to dodge anything. Okay. Did these spawn because I hit the wrong button, or did they spawn just on their own? See, and there's the problem with that, is I released the spell, but because it didn't finish casting, it changed direction because I needed to be able to move away from these things. So I'm not 100% sure how I feel about the music system still. Everything else seems good about this, just that is slightly concerning. Don't waste your time stepping on these buttons, they don't seem to work. Well, that's clearly not true. Because they definitely do something. Or maybe they don't. Maybe they start to do something and then they can't continue. But it has a reaction to me doing inputs, so presumably there's something here. Because each button, when you hit the first one, opens that up and starts the light. So I wonder if there's just a very specific pattern you need to hit for this. And I'm assuming it's not just a simple circular pattern. Maybe she was telling the truth, or he, depending on who V is. I just know more Vs that are female than I know Vs that are male. Yeah, perhaps there is something to the whole these buttons don't work thing. One way or the other, trying to brute force that is probably gonna be a waste of our time. Where are these tentacles coming from? They just seem to be kind of happening. It's a little weird. Hello? Wait. Okay. Thought for a second there I was just blocked from that path completely and I was very confused. See, it can be made to be useful. Wait. I am a fool. Those tentacles aren't tentacles, they're the roots from Uncontrolled Nature. They just were so wildly different than the things we were summoning that I didn't even consider that there was a connection there. But that's exactly what that is.
Looks like it opened.
Okay, that opens the door. So we just need to go back and around now. So far, so good. None of the puzzling is complicated, but it's just enough that you actually have to pay a little bit of attention to what you're doing. And now we have the main door open. Nope, wrong way around again. I thought for a second there I had wedged myself up there, which would have been really awkward. Wrong way around again. It's left, right, not right, left, right, left. There we go. I'm gonna keep getting the healing song backwards. And I really don't have an answer for you as to why. It's just gonna be a thing that's gonna happen. Oh, a whole new bunch of you guys exist, huh? Yeah, see, the magic is effective. It's just... it's a little jank. It takes just a touch of getting used to, I guess. And you do get Verve back from most of these fights, so it makes sense to use this. And as you can see, it does make these fights go faster. Wrong way around. And I do appreciate the fact that they do slow time while you're doing the music, because otherwise this would be probably a near unusable system to try to fight with. Because that's the same kind of issue you run into, like I said, with something like Magicka. If anybody remembers those games. The classic, totally great teamwork games. Oh, our first boss fight. Mamma Jamma. You know what? Fair enough. There we go, get her set on fire. I don't like the fact that sometimes it eats an input at the start of the song as well. Like, I don't know if y'all have caught that, but fairly frequently if I'm going fast when I try to do that, it doesn't take the first input. Which in a situation like this, I'd obviously be trying to go rather quickly. Doing it backwards again. There we go. Easy. I tanked a couple more hits than I wanted to, but that's because of either getting a song backwards or losing an input. Presumably, there's a reward in here. So weren't we told that the hub was up here? Oh, hey. More verb for us. We made a thing. It is interesting that the first, like, heart container-esque thing we found affects our magic, not our health. People went to a circle.
Drawings. Is this a story? Or some kind of warning?
Many stories are warnings themselves. Let me see if I can make sense of this. Because clearly 3 people prayed or did a ritual or something. This presumably was the location of said thing happening. Some manner of machinery, perhaps, back there? And I can't tell if this is something being pulled into there or some kind of, like, partially tipped over totem pole, or what the deal with this is. Is it either is being pulled over this way or it's got like a wing pointing out that way? I can't really tell which is which with that. And then there's the 3 people again. Alright. The world may never know what any of that meant. But we witnessed it. We saw it. We looked right at it. The ancients have left behind totems. Each totem obtained will increase your health by 1. Get the healing fox. And I'm gonna assume I can't read what this says. Nope. Because then things might actually start to make sense, and we're not allowed to have that yet. I was kind of curious to see if the game had a system for just making that crystal end up in my inventory when it was just trailing along behind me there. That's why I just kind of trailed it for a while till I got tired of hearing the sound.
Time passes as it does.
Still trying to find a way back to her. I don't know what that was that ran across the path there. Oh, it's you again. Wakey wakey, Mr. Robot.
I see you are back.
I don't know how I got back here, because I went very far and ended up back where I started.
Back? How are you all the way out here?
You see, the forest moves, and so do I.
That makes sense. You're not exactly hard to move around. You can't move yourself, but the forest can move you quite easily.
Aha! Seek to reunite the lovers, yes? That which you seek moves on too?
Yeah, that's an accurate statement.
Should I expect these riddles every time we speak? Look, tell me where I can find this machine. I need to get back to her.
Still a mountain to climb and ways to go. Choices to make. Yes, yes.
Please, it's all that I want.
Well, then you should be willing to work for it.
Perhaps there is still time for you yet. The machine is broken and needs to be fixed. Traverse the land of the Ikal in the east. Seek the 3 fates. They have stolen.
Oh, somebody needs to wind him up again. No secret path over there? Okay. Off we go then. To seek fate. You know... Nah, I'm not gonna think too hard about that right now. You'll find some peace here. Good. let's just say at a certain point in time, we may not want to turn around. Don't feed the birds. Well, why not? Birds seem fine. Ooh. Apparently this is a resource I can't use yet. Alright. Oh, it lights the top torch. Okay. And this one, of course, lights the bottom torch. And we would need to get over there to light the rightmost torch. This is currently a dead end for us. But perhaps this leads around to where that other torch is. At least potentially, possibly, perhaps. I see. Wait. There's something back here. They wouldn't give you this whole path area here if there wasn't a way. We just have plants that grow back crazy fast in this world. But then again, if the forest is alive and presumably intelligent, like it's being implied that it is, it does make a certain degree of sense. Also, the music's entirely too quiet. Like, now and then it picked up enough that it was audible, and then it keeps changing. Okay, I'm gonna have to line these up a bit more carefully, probably. Oh, nope, it was just a pattern of timing. Or a pattern no timing, rather. Unless you wait a really long time, possibly. So that's this whole area sorted out, then. Still can't use the weird teardrop things, which presumably relates to this little garden plot looking area here, but we can't do that yet.
After that first time I played for her, she took me to the fountain. It was a special place for her, filled with childhood memories.
Is that the fountain we've been seeing?
We laughed. We dreamed. And that night, I knew Sophia. As dusk fell, she took a coin from her purse, pressed her lips to it, and made a wish. I asked her what she wished for. If I tell you, it won't come true.
Oh, that old chestnut, huh?
Said she. And then she raised her arm to throw the coin into the fountain, as people do, as if this ritualistic act would magically spring forth whatever she desired.
Well, you're the one chasing a wish-granting machine. I suppose at this point you've turned around on that idea, huh?
I touched her shoulder, stopping her, and with a devilish grin. I can't remember exactly what I said now, but it was something like,
Not really the biggest fan of either of these statements, but we'll go with the first one.
her eyes twinkled. She chuckled as our hands touched and this totem was handed to me.
Oh, now it's a totem, huh?
I still wear the coin around my neck today.
Oh, that's the thing he has. Okay.
It now felt heavy on my chest.
The weight of responsibility, perhaps? Yeah, you see it right there. I wasn't sure if that was like a thing he had around his neck or if it was actually like part of the shirt he was wearing. Now we know. It's a coin. Oh yeah, actually you can see it when he runs to the right. You can see it swinging. Little details, little details. We can't get more healing right now. I can make the spikes last longer, but they impede my movement as well, so we'll take the Glyph of Charred Earth now, because we didn't unlock anything new yet. Otherwise, I would have put it onto whatever the new thing was. Oh yeah, what I was gonna say is you would figure with a game as heavily about music as it is, the music would A, be clearer to hear, and B, be a bit more active. You again, huh?
Welcome, traveler, to the north past the Grand Ridgelands General.
How did you get here?
Meeting place of the lands.
This place is weird. I find it interesting that some things he'll question and some things he won't question.
Dwelling out here?
I mean, why not?
Strange.
Alright, let me double check something right quick while I'm thinking about it. Okay, good. I had checked the link, or I thought I did. Okay, so V lives here. Yeah, of all the things to question, somebody living out here doesn't seem like the weirdest thing. But perhaps it's just me. I always double and triple check the Lurkit links I get to make sure none of them are typed incorrectly or lead anywhere weird. As much as that service hasn't steered me wrong yet, anybody can end up making a mistake at any point. So I always make damn sure. Looks like we can't get past these little bouncy blocks yet. So perhaps those will make sense in the future. For now, we can at least get to the meeting place of the lands, apparently. Well, it being the hub, I presume it's the only safe place there is.
Well, hello there.
Doesn't seem very interested in talking, only in eating. Oh, you're fixing the bridge, huh?
You're like me?
First traveler you met? Haha.
Yeah, pretty much.
Been talking to that damn machine in the tree?
Is that why I sound like I talk weird? Because honestly, yeah, that would check.
Yeah. You've met that thing too?
I just realized he's got a tattoo on his arm that almost looks like an hourglass as well. Maybe he just has a time obsession.
Yes, sir. Cracked one that.
Yeah, he's a little weird. That's true.
So you've seen others too?
Oh, aye, son. Aye.
So have we. We've seen a few now.
I saw a lass recently, about your age. Funny looking ride, that one. There's others who've taken respite here in Jezero too.
I see. I had the strangest feeling it was just me here.
Well, it isn't anymore at the very least.
And those things.
Aye. Well, think you're lucky crystals it isn't, eh? A lad your age needs people.
It helps.
Anyway, if you need to get across, bridge is busted.
Damn.
Now, hold your horses.
He's fixing it. It'll be fine.
I'm fixing it, lad. It's what I'm good at. But it'll take a little while. I see that instrument on your back. I'm guessing you're not much of the fixing type.
Yeah, maybe not.
I mean,
Don't worry about it, son. I got this.
are you here to seek the machine as well? The one that grants wishes?
I gave up on that quest a long time ago, son.
I assume he's been here for a while.
I fix things to help others find their path.
The machine in the trees said to find these fates.
Don't go near him, son. Unless you're looking to get yourself killed.
Yeah, that's about what I figured he was gonna say.
If the machine is your goal, leave this place. There's nothing but trouble for you here.
Whoa, man, take it easy. When will I be able to cross?
Go have a chat with the others and come back later.
But it's the only way ahead.
Sometimes the only way forward is to wait.
I say later. Come back later, son.
You can't just manifest a bridge out of nothingness. Interesting. Just a raccoon running around here. I'm gonna quickly check on something since we have an ad break running anyway. I'll be back in just a second. Back to it then. Raccoon ran off this way, so let's see what he's all about, I guess. Or he's gone? No, he's gone down here.
Who goes there? Stay back.
Well, you're quick to pull a knife in a safe place, aren't you?
Whoa, easy there.
What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy?
Well, you were just kind of waving your arms randomly, as far as I could tell.
I'm new here. The bridge builder told me there were others here like me.
Passing along his grievances to others, like always.
You're not entirely wrong about that.
What can you tell me of the machine?
What machine? They're all over the place.
He's got a good point there. Just saying the machine doesn't really narrow it down for most people.
No. I was told there was one in this forest that grants wishes.
Don't know of any old wishing machine, and don't need one. Not with all this treasure lying around.
It does have a lot of gold built up in there.
The temples in Ikal are filled with them.
And I suppose that's why he's so jumpy, too, is he's protecting all of his acquired funds.
Why tell me this? Don't thieves usually want treasure all for themselves?
Well, bit of a rude assumption to think he's a thief.
I am no thief.
There you go.
No matter. Fox and I can always find more. Get on now. Leave me be.
Is he conducting with his arms? Maybe that's what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing.
I don't have any way to open this.
This, I presume, is for after we deal with the 3 fates, considering it conveniently has 3 locks, all with different colors. At least seems like the safe assumption to make there. There's some more verve over there, but we can't get at it yet. Well, that's one crazy traveler down. Let's go find the rest of them, I suppose. You two seem like you're having a good time.
Welcome, my good friend.
A little confused by the mask on half your face, but I'm sure there's a story there.
Please sit and take fare. Amir and I are happy to share.
Is everything you say going to rhyme?
No, I'm sorry. I'm only here to find the wishing machine.
Well, you can't find anything on an empty stomach.
Alas, your eyes tell a story. You are here to reclaim a loss.
A loss which haunts you.
Oh, there we go. Not as much rhyming. So, their eyes are the same color. I wonder... Well, let me amend that statement. The eye I can see on both of them is the same color, but her other eye is hard to see. It almost looks like it's a different color, and I don't know if that's just a trick of the artwork there, or if that's meant to be something.
Can you tell me more about it? How it works? How I may get to it?
Only that trouble lies in your wake.
But You have a choice.
There's always a choice.
Well, yeah, we have a lot of choices to make from what we were told.
If you haven't already, step to the top of Jezero.
Yeah, we're on our way there, and we just ran into y'all on the way.
There is a door there, which appears different for everyone.
Interesting.
How it appears for you might give you some insight.
Thanks. What's going on with those things?
Fear not all which roam with no flesh.
They aren't all bad. The Gearman comes through from time to time to collect her flowers.
And tells Amina and I stories of the past.
Well, that's nice.
Thank you, Amir and Amina. Perhaps when I return, I'll have tales to tell of my own.
I do wonder if they've got like a two halves of a coin thing going on here with these two or something. Especially with how similar their names are. I don't know, maybe I'm digging too deep into imagery there. That's the door, I presume, up there. Let's not get to that yet till we've talked to any other people that might be here. And of course acquired any goodies I can find. Oh, this might be the door, actually. Or it's a something we can't do anything with. Never mind. Maybe this is the machine. Wouldn't that be funny if it was just here the entire time, but nobody knew how to use it?
Three engravings, three fates.
Oh, well, never mind. That other door doesn't have anything to do with the fates, I guess. So the things on the sides look kind of snake-like, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I know what I need to do.
Do you? That was ominous. I just have a bad feeling about all of this. Perhaps that's my personal mistrust kicking in. One would think I meant to walk over there. Oh, that's not the pillar. That's a wall. Okay. That looked like just a pillar, but it's a wall just like this one on this side. So we can't actually open this yet. We need a way to get rid of those walls first. And then we can get up there and sort out that situation. But if the door appears differently to
I should
everyone...
probably go check on the man building the bridge.
Yeah, if the door appears differently to everyone, does that mean not everyone has to deal with the fates? Hey, I looked at the door now. Yeah, we talked to both of them already.
Boy, come over here.
What's up?
What's up?
The bridge is built, boy.
That was quick.
Just be careful out there.
I kind of wish we'd see some of these characters face a different direction. So I'm very curious about this, like, nail gun hammer thing that this guy's got going on. Because you can't see his other arm. And part of me's wondering if that is his arm. Because if you look at where the top of it ends up going, it's like right where his shoulder would be. Very interesting.
Thanks.
Call me Virgil.
Oh, that's an auspicious name.
Thanks, Virgil. I'm Traveler.
That is still weird that he just is called Traveler. Like, did he lose his name? Like, I guess it's not impossible for that to be a name.
All right, well, here we go.
Just trips me out a little bit. Okay, so we got a big tall staircase over there. What about over here? A staircase going the opposite direction over here. Okay, well, our exclamation point's down there, so let's go up the upward trending stairs instead, then. Or not. Never mind, we'll be back to that whenever I can actually do something with that idea. Part of me appreciates the fact that I can't do anything with a lot of the things in this world, and it doesn't tell me that I can't do it or anything. And part of me is just like, there's a lot of things I can't do. Huh. You know, maybe I should just never convince myself that there's things I can't do, considering this man can walk through solid stone. In case you're wondering, yes, I am trying to clip him half through this and half not, but it's not working. He's an all or nothing deal. Well then. Perhaps we can phase through a useful chunk of stone somewhere.
It does.
I'm gonna stop letting that phrase interrupt what I'm saying. Oh, there we go. For those who have given up, I didn't get to read it all. But at least more of the text appeared this time.
Lonely,
Sword.
are you? I wonder who you belong to.
Well, me now. You've put sword in my hand. Oh. He used a sword in the intro. We could totally use that. It's a trail of dead things, though. But I would assume the trail ended where the sword was laying, not where we're going. I thought for a moment that these flyers died automatically, but I think it was just because he was on fire. Yeah, they don't have much health. So they do burn rather quickly. There we go. Just keep our health topped up. No sense in letting it'll go any lower, really. This almost looks like this would have been a doorway, too. I'd have to be real silly to just walk down the middle there. I don't know if those torches do anything, but I figure there's no reason to not light them. Okay, that goes through the wall, so there's something up there we need to light. Well, this seems mean. Okay, I get the distinct impression I'm not meant to make it past that right now. Considering, you know, mashing the dodge button didn't work out at all there. So I guess we're not meant to do anything here yet. Because it looks like that's the plant that I would need to hit in order to go through the wall there. So I think we're just kind of scuppered on this one for now. Until we gain something that'll let me get past the crusher. It is interesting that we encounter that so early in here and we can't do anything with it. But not outside the realm of possibility, though. We do just have an instrument and a lantern to our name here. You again.
Welcome, traveler.
What now?
This is a curious place. Much history here. Yes, indeed. Grave things have happened here. Yes, indeed. She is here, the one you seek.
Which one, the Fate or Sophia?
One of the fates? How do I find her?
Follow the song. The song.
Alright. I mean, I may as well follow the path you opened first and then worry about following a song as soon as I can hear it. It seems like this would be a better choice of path, but we can't get there from here. It's all foggy over here. But it's walkable fog, so let's figure this out. Does this go anywhere good? The answer seems to be maybe. The answer is yes. Seems like an awful lot for it just to lead to one of those, though. There's really nothing else over here? Yeah, there's nothing else over here, I guess. Just a lot of set dressing. Which is all neat looking, just confusing that there's a lot around sometimes. With a very little purpose. Okay. Hello, Captain Spindowin. Oh, two. Click on the first one. There we go. Okay, I can layer the spikes. Oh, and he does track with that attack. Okay. Keep that in mind then. Not so bad, not so bad. It's a shame that our little exploding glyph appeared only after the fight ended. Yeah, new song.
I felt a rush as the music flowed through me.
Down, right, down, up. Ah, flame dash, okay. Down, right, down, up. Okay. As long as I'm still blue, I can keep dodging and keep dropping fireballs. That seems like it could be quite useful. I'm not sure if that'll solve some of the problems we had in terms of accessing places that we couldn't reach with flame before. But it's an interesting idea. We're also out of magic, so that's inconvenient. But perhaps we'll figure that one out as we go. Find a shortcut. Okay. I'm glad you told me so much about both of these concepts. Well, the blood trail goes this way, so let's go this way first.
We would continue to meet in this place.
Okay.
This wonderful, magical place. One day I asked why she loved this spot so much. She said, "There's a story behind this fountain, but I must say it's a love story, so I hope it doesn't bore you."
Yeah, I'm curious.
She began. Once upon a time, in a land filled with magic
And the farm.
there lived a young farmer with little else except for his one true love.
This can't end well. Okay, this is kind of neat, though. Just having this little storybook to walk around in.
A maiden with a knack for crafting beautiful garments wanted little else except for him.
Now they go together.
Her
Going off
family,
into town.
on the other hand, disapproved of their relationship, thinking him unworthy of her.
Yep, there's the angry parents. She looks decidedly unimpressed. I'm not sure if that expression's quite right for that situation, but you know what? Fair enough.
I need to prove to them that I'm worthy of her love. I'd do anything, he muttered to himself.
Careful with statements like that. This could lead to disaster.
Insecure, the young farmer found his way to the local tavern, where he encountered a mysterious hooded man.
Hello, incredibly trustworthy hooded man.
The man told him of an old woman with many rare and valuable oddities just through the forest outside their village. She won't know if something goes missing, the man said.
This sounds suspiciously convenient.
Detail stuck in the young farmer's head.
I'm not sure stealing from someone would impress anyone.
And conflicted though he was, that night he set out through the dark forest to find the old woman's house.
I guess.
The forest proved tricky to navigate and felt as though it was ever shifting. A cold chill ran down his spine. The young farmer felt a shadow looming over him. He began to run.
Gotta go, it's that creature we were running from before. Oh no.
And run.
Awfully convenient, isn't it, that it happens to be an ever-shifting forest like the one we're stuck in, and we're being chased by the same creature here as well.
Finally, he stumbled across the hut. It was quaint, but emitted an uncomfortable glow through the single round window.
What's so uncomfortable about a glow? Oh, this isn't being read for some reason. He found a cracked opening through the back and snuck inside. His stomach churned as he heard an eerie melody coming from the old woman. But it was too late to turn back, and he needed to find something special for the maiden. There were many strange things in the hut, most of which his love would not find amusing, but ahead in the corner of the room was a beautiful ruby necklace. It was time to make a move. The farmer snuck forward, just barely escaping her notice. He grabbed the necklace and snuck back out. Back through the dreaded forest he went again, with that sick feeling of being followed. That night, he gave the ruby necklace to his love and placed it around her neck. She looked back at him with a glint in her eyes. He couldn't have been happier. The next morning, he awoke early to tend to his farm and noticed something unusual. In the center of the town stood a herd of deer grazing. The farmer had never seen anything like it before. He approached the deer and they scattered, except for one. The doe that remained was wearing a ruby necklace. He took one step forward and the doe darted off, and the necklace fell. As the young farmer picked up the necklace, he grimaced and shouted, "It was that old woman! She changed everyone into deer. Maybe if I bring the necklace to her, she'll change them back." With the ruby necklace around his neck, the young farmer sprinted through the forbidden forest. He searched for what felt like days. "I know this is where it was." Suddenly a raven flew down and spoke to him. "Looking for the old hag? You did know she was a witch, right? Her house isn't always where you last saw it." "But I need to find her. She has cursed my village," the young farmer exclaimed. "She sometimes travels to the village in the south to trade with the townspeople. You might want to start there." The farmer had no choice but to now find the old woman and get back to his love. I don't know why that section wasn't voiced, but this starts to explain the deer fountain, at the very least. Sure, we'll increase the radius of the spectral drops. Because that does seem like a useful spell, as long as I remember to actually use it. Which isn't that always the trick? I do appreciate that you just conveniently have the fountain appearing where you might need it to be. I forgot what the spell was already. Right, it's down, right, down, up. For some reason I thought it started with up. It is perhaps not the most resoundingly effective spell yet, but it at least can fire a lot because of just dashing around. And obviously we'll be doing a lot of dashing because of dodging attacks anyway. There we go. A bit more effective against stationary targets, which doesn't feel quite right for a spell like that. You would think it would be the other way around. I do still like it better than the spike spell, though, because this again. What do you mean these buttons still don't work? And why are they here too? There's a lot of repetition in these woods. Oh, an arm. I think I'm on the right track with this trail. Nope, I did it the wrong way around. trying to figure out why that wasn't working, so I slowed down and then I realized I was going backwards.
A series of clicks and whirrings filled the air. Although I knew it could not feel, it sounded as though it was in pain.
Are you sure it can't feel?
Welcome, traveler. Please, help.
So you've replaced a leg with a stick, and you've lost an arm. I presume the sword belonged to you.
Machine, what happened to you?
The red-eyed ones.
Red-eyed ones?
My town and its people are low on verve.
So Verve is a resource for you. Okay.
I tried to get help from the Mechanil in the west, past Jezero, but something is wrong. They did this to me.
I'm sorry to hear that. What is this verve?
It is our fuel supply which is harvested from the great trees. Please, traveler, go to my people and tell them of my fate.
I'm sorry. I need to find the fate of this land. I need to get to the machine.
We can do both.
Please, traveler. My wife, she needs to know what happened.
Huh. So these mechanical people have relationships, which, you know, they seem to feel pain and sorrow and everything as well, so why not?
Wife?
Perhaps you'll find something in my town that might aid you on your quest.
All right, I'll help you out. Show me the way to your people.
They're to the east of here. You should find them across the Grand Bridge in the city of Ikal. Tell them Bertrand sent you.
I will, Bertrand.
Why don't we help him
Thank you, traveler.
to the
I wish you
town?
well on your journey.
Like, presumably he moved well enough to get here. If we just help him out with balancing, we could probably get him the rest of the way home. Music changed. Definitely glad I got that glyph upgrade.
It's like it opened.
What do we got up here? Some kind of super plant summons little monsters that spit poison when they die. I did all of that wrong. There we go. Didn't accomplish what I had intended to with that in the slightest either. That really nearly went horribly wrong, not gonna lie. There was a lot of ways that could have gone better, and a lot of ways that could have gone worse. I'm gonna assume that the mechanics are gonna give me a way to break these walls, because of just how many of them we found. That seems like the likely outcome. I don't know that that's true, but that seems like the likely outcome.
Please, no, not again. I don't want to see her like this. Please.
Why as a wooden statue?
I regularly play for her, and only her, at the fountain. The buck and the doe watched over us.
So really, you weren't playing only for her, if you think about it.
But only she could hear me.
That's what you think.
And she told me that my music healed her soul. That it was.
Well, I don't think she'd call it eccentric if it was healing her soul.
And that I should play for more people. Because maybe I could heal the world too.
That's a big ask.
The task felt daunting as I recall. I still hold this sentiment.
But if she wanted you to heal the world, have you considered that maybe you should be quicker to take on tasks where you're asked to help people? Also, Ravenous Spectre would actually be incredibly good for me. With how I keep using that spell in groups of enemies. We'd be able to just spam fire that over and over again. And that would do pretty well, I think. Huh. I'm just thinking about the map again because I'm debating whether I should have actually gone a different way. But looking at the map, it looks like there really isn't anywhere else I could have gone. Never mind. I do wonder if the song itself changes based on your answers. That would actually be like a very, very interesting mechanic to work with. Is having the actual entire backing track changing. But also that would be a lot of work. So I would absolutely understand if they didn't do any such thing. Okay. Nothing in there, which is a little odd. More of these pedestals. I feel like I'm meant to use those to open this, but I can't interact with them yet. Half the lights are lit and half of them aren't. What does it mean? It means half the lights are lit and half of them aren't. It could be more than that. Well, yeah, it means you haven't figured out what you're supposed to do, dum-dum. Doing a great job of, like, inverting every song the first time I try to do it. I'm almost dead. Okay, good. I can have more than one of those healing spots appear at once. I just gotta be careful that it doesn't despawn before I use it. Oh boy. Fireball! 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 Anyway, problem solved. Considering we get verve from those little guys and their yellow like verve is, I'm going to assume those are living globs of verve that have attained at least basic sentience. Which, if that's the case, there's an implication there where that might very well be the source of the intelligence that the robots have, too. And remember how the injured one, Bertrand, mentioned the red-eyed ones? Think back, do you remember whether the crazy-sounding robot we've been getting our information from, do you remember whether he had red eyes or not? And of course there's this man with no eyes, but a yellow-eyed drone. And I think Gearman had yellow. Obviously our direction-giving friend here is yellow.
Welcome, traveler. Welcome to the grand city of the Akal, where our protector Arkarel resides.
Arkarel? The Fate? What can you tell me about her?
She used to come down from her temple to reclaim artifacts left behind by the ancients. I haven't seen her for some time, though I've heard from the passersby that they've seen her standing atop her temple, gazing at the forest below.
So, Arkarel the Fate is a protector of this area. Doesn't that mean if I take her down, bad things are gonna happen? Was that a tank? No, I think it's some kind of groundskeeping machine.
Soothing melody pierced the air, finding its way to me. It was unlike anything I'd ever heard. It drew me in, mesmerizing. I followed ahead.
That's presumably the song we were told to follow.
That's a beautiful song.
Hello, friend. It was a song my mother used to sing to me. She always told me there was magic to song.
Well, it's been proving true for us so far.
There is something to be said about the power of song.
Oh, I suppose you'd know. Is that an instrument?
Mm-hmm.
Would you play me a tune?
Sorry, I don't play for anyone anymore.
Oh, shame. I bet you're really good.
So, what brings you here?
I just felt this pull. You?
Same, in a way. I lost someone. I'm here to get her back.
Well, I hope you find...
Orb of distraction, go.
What? No?
Sorry, I'm sorry. Need to go.
Wait!
As I chased the apparition, I couldn't shake that soothing melody from my mind. I began to lose a sense of direction, a sense of time.
Capitalized time, no less. Oh, I guess we're learning another song. I will say, these songs seem to happen quick. Oh, it allows us to manipulate the mechanisms, I presume. Okay. Interesting, interesting. And now we're back here again. Okay, not repeating the dialogue. Yeah, you can actually tell that it's a groundskeeping robot because it's cut all the way down to dirt where it's been looping. Interesting. So they used to use all these machines for even basic tasks, I suppose.
Welcome, traveler. Welcome to the grand city of Eagle, where our protector our ground resides. To the east, you will find the Grand Bridge, leading to the town of the Mechanics.
Mechanics, okay. So I want to go to the east to go to that village then. Does the song work on this because it has that symbol? Wrong way. How did that song go? Left, not right. There we go. Oh, that seems like a problem. Well, never mind. So that song is how I break those walls, though. It was a curious machine, spoke in a curious way. I'm not sure how it got up in that tree, but it must not have been easy. It's not there voluntarily, I don't think. There are doors in these temples that I know will open. I know the strange statues of the Gabe have something to do with it. I need to find a way. There are doors in these temples. Do both these notes say the same thing, or is... There we go. The temple casts an eerie shadow as the sun sets. It's as if she's calling out to all her children. But either way, let's cross the Grand Bridge to the east first. Then we'll come back to that idea that I started there. Oh. No, or not.
Dearman,
Welcome, traveler.
this is unfortunate.
Indeed, it is. I had hopes of checking on the poor souls in this town of Mechanics. Pity.
Pity indeed. Are there any other ways to get across?
This land once had a series of underground tunnels. Unfortunately, these old gears won't allow me to do much dangerous adventuring. Maybe you can find a way.
Perhaps so. Thank you.
Safe travels.
Okay, so there's a tunnel we need to find to get to the town of Mechanics. Alright. We just gotta figure out where that tunnel is. I have a suspicion I know where, but we'll proceed this way first then, since this is where we are currently. 'Cause I presume we won't, like, miss the opportunity to do the other thing if I proceed here. We'll find out. Oh, actually, this might be the dungeon. 'Cause I presume it'll be a dungeon to get through to get to the fate. Unless the fate's just, like, right in here. That'd be funny.
Time passes as it does.
Unless these are the tunnels. Find the first fate in the land of the east. Interesting. So we're gonna have, like, fire arrow puzzles. Okay. I'm down for that. I can work that angle. Depending on the complexity that these go to, anyway. It's under there, and they get stopped by the block. So we have to figure out a way to get this block out of the way. But how do we get a big block like that to not be in our path? Like, presumably we play the Song of the Ancients somewhere. Okay, so we activate it here? Yeah, okay. Slows the gear and also activated that statue for whatever purpose. I presume the statue activating is what slowed the gear, actually. So the fire goes this way, splits into 3. And goes that way, across there, and down here. Which connects back to the other one. Why? Okay. Interesting. I'm still getting the lay of the land in here a little bit. There's more blocks in the path of the fire, so the fire's not really going anywhere. That doesn't light up in any way, shape, or form at the moment. Maybe I just need to go chase down the statue I moved and activate it again before I do anything else? It's about the only thing I can see to do here, because nothing I can do interacts with anything here, as far as I can tell. Also, he says he doesn't play for anyone anymore, and yet we're running around playing music all the time because we have to. Let's set this fire and just see what it does, just in case. I'm pretty sure all these will be blocked. Yeah, that gets stopped. That one gets stopped. And then, of course, the other one down here gets stopped as well. Oh, wait. No. These aren't connected. They make it look like these are connected, but this one is connected to the one that we were at down there. We need to get that block at the bottom and that block there out of the way before this will pass where it needs to go. Okay. Making more sense now. Yep, that slows the crushers down. And so that they're manageable.
Another tool lay in my path, a tool made for destruction or molding.
Ah. A staff or a mace, or I'm not entirely sure what that's meant to be. But it's ours now. Hammer, okay. It just didn't really look like a hammer in its initial position. I wondered about getting the gems out of those. And this allows me to move the block. Okay. For some reason I didn't expect it to move the block. I expected it to destroy it. So now we got block pushing and wall breaking. And a tutorial that's stuck on the screen for some reason. There we go. So I gotta watch out. This hammer is slow, as you'd expect of a big hammer. Oh, they're on top of the block here. Okay. Hard to argue with the damage output of this hammer, though. Presume I want these to be lined up with each other. So we need to get up on that ledge in order to light this one, which will fire into this one. Which will do something. What it'll do? That's why I called it something. And get our health topped back up, is you never know what we're going to be dealing with next. Okay, we just climb up here. Fireball. You know, I kind of expected that to do more than just open the door, but what do I know? Yeah. It was down, left, down, up. No. I've already forgotten the other song now. Down, right, down, up. Of course, I always get some step of it backwards. Oh, interesting. Spectral attack is now different because it's a different weapon. God, it is hard to keep focused on the magic, though, when things like that are flying at you. Yeah, it just doesn't last very long. So I don't think it's a very effective attack against these guys. I think that's probably just my best choice right now, is just wait between their attacks and then hammer them. The hammer is way more effective. And turns out with good time you can knock them back too, which I didn't even think about. I should have assumed that that would have been an option in hindsight. But what do I know? The answer is not as much as I usually would. His brain is not firing on all cylinders today. In hindsight, I should have made a stronger cup of tea today. Oh wait, we're back in the original room. This block out of the way. Now we can start that fire, but let's go ahead and move the other one first so we don't have to rush up here. Oh, I can't. Huh. That means I need to get access to the other side first. That wall. Push the block to this side. This place is more complicated than it looks at first glance, that's for sure. But not so complicated as to be a major issue. Just takes a little bit of time to get your grip on it. It's also impressive that our boy, E-Traveler here, can outrun fire to a certain degree. Also not entirely sure... Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not entirely sure that that's actually what I wanted to set that fire for. Since we could just hit it with the lantern. Something useful in that box, I presume. Also looks like the fire might leave this room and go that way at some point as well. Ah, okay. I see the idea. Let's set up the other one as well while we're here. There we go. With that cleared, we can go back around and push the block out of the way. Oh, actually, we can expedite this slightly. So I don't have to walk all the way around if I just do this. Which is what that breakable wall there is for. Almost certainly, is just to knock the block a little more askew and a more beneficial way. You would think you could just light any part of these vines and it would work. That's the one, like, weird thing about how this mechanic works to me. Like, why can't I just start the fire over here and have it do the thing? I have to run all the way back to the origin point. And I know that that's being picky, but that's what I do. That is half of my job description. We'll go ahead and light both of these because it should make both function. Now, because I'm pretty sure I moved everything that'll be in the way out of the way of both of them. I don't think I need to keep them on screen. Nope. There goes the first one. And I could still hear the second one, so presumably, yep, the fuse is still cooking on that one too. There we go, we get a big key and some kind of box. I'm gonna presume that the box was actually optional. But I'm gonna go open it because I opened it. Why wouldn't you at that point, right? Ta-na-na-na. Oh, was the map? Huh. Not what I expected. It makes sense looking at it now with the perspective of what it ended up doing. Is all those lines on the stone tablet basically just account to a map. But it also looked like a box. So I presume that this key opens up the other door that we saw. One in the middle to the right of us here. Considering the big key shape in the middle of the door, that just makes nothing but sense. Ta-da! Yeah, this is definitely a dungeon. Whoop. Cargill, Stone Guardian of the Crypt. I thought this was a temple. Or I guess maybe the crypt is at the bottom of the temple. Okay, they can line their attacks up in kind of brutal ways here, so I gotta be a little more careful. Fill up a little bit more. Crush you. The big guy's almost almost halfway, but let's get rid of the friends anyway, just to be on the safe side. Oh, the spinner's hurting him. So I actually could have kept the spinning guy around in order to kill him that way, too. That's clever. I like that. I'm always down for when games give you multiple options for dealing with something.
Impressive. I've never seen a burial site as grandiose as this. Seems as though death lingers no matter where you go.
Now there's a little statuette sitting there, so I presume that's another totem. Yep, another hit point for us. The jackalope totem. Somebody's been in here before, though, and opened some of these. Might even have been our treasure hunting friend we ran into in town. Even though everybody's calling him a thief, I'm gonna label him a treasure hunter until we see him actually stealing things. Oh, okay. I got concerned for a second there that something broke.
Time passes as it does.
I'm not sure what the point of that was. Oh, this is the town, okay. Well, that happened. You appear to be burying your dead. And you have no interest in speaking with me. Oh, now you'll speak with me, now that I was walking past you.
I was sent here by Bertrand to find his wife.
Funny you mention. Haven't seen her in a while now.
Did she go off and do something silly?
And good luck getting out of here. Bridge is out. Elevator's broke. And main gate is locked up.
Wow, that really does sound like a problem, huh?
Unless you can get your hands on a verve canister. But things have been missing around here recently. Now leave this old hunk of junk to his work.
You're the one who decided to talk to me, bud. I tried to talk to you first, yes, but you ignored me and then decided to talk to me of your own volition. Okay, nothing in here.
He beats me every time.
I'm gonna guess this is a game where you, like, throw the ball into the target in the middle there, and you get a lower score out here, probably.
Welcome, traveler. Move along. This game is not for the likes of you.
Rude. I could throw a ball just like you.
Welcome, traveler.
You look like some manner of chef.
You'll find the greatest verve stew in all the land here.
Stew? No thanks.
Okay. I wanted to see if you had anything else to say, but it seems like everybody in this game has one single dialogue for the most part. Oh, it's you again.
Welcome, traveler. To the west is the Grand Bridge. To the south is the Southern Gate. To the northeast is the Scrapyard.
Scrapyard seems like it might be relevant. Let's go take a look at how the bridge looks from this side.
As it does.
Oh, for those who've given up on a dream. Okay. Look, I made it to the other side. You know, if you jumped, I probably could just catch you, though you're probably reasonably heavy being a robot and all. If you just had a rope, we could, like, attach a decent strength cord to the post there and the post here, and... Well, it would get me back and forth, but it probably wouldn't work for you either, yet again, because of the whole robot thing. Then again, I could probably, like, chop this thing down. Then we'd probably have to flatten it a bit, though, for that to work. Because it's real round, it would just roll away. What I'm saying is we could absolutely make a makeshift bridge here. It's not that long a span.
It does.
Even if we had to, like, line up two things side by side there. I mean, there's all these trees here. They could absolutely have built a damn bridge. I think they just don't want to go anywhere. Hello, old robot. Fair enough.
Welcome, traveler. I'm using my energy while I still can. I overheard Mommy say there's almost no verve left. At least I can still run now. It's great.
You know, if you're using your energy and there's no more source of energy left, wouldn't it be wiser to not just burn your... Yeah, you know what? Go be a kid. Go be a kid while you can be a kid.
Welcome, traveler.
See, I tried to not stand in the flowers.
I'm glad my daughter is running around while she still can.
Fair enough. Oh wait, direction bot is here too. You have the exact same thing to say. Well, fuck you too then, buddy. I'm just out here trying to meet all the townsfolk and you just don't want anything to do with me.
Welcome, traveler. No one is allowed in the scrapyard.
Why not? Won't tell me why, huh? Sounds to me like I'm gonna have to bypass him at some point. But I guess for now, let's go upstairs. Because we don't really seem to have anywhere else to go. Oh, you got a cat. Meow.
Welcome, traveler. What brings you to our somber village?
Well, a few things, really.
I encountered the one called Bertrand. He asked me to find his wife.
You found Bertrand? How fares he?
Not great.
He's been gravely injured. He said something about red-eyed ones.
A shame. Bertrand is an invaluable member of our town. Alas, there has been a darkness consuming our people. Thankfully, our town is yet to be disturbed by this red-eyed plague. But you can see our village is in desperate need of verve.
Is there anything I can do?
I mean, we have a means of collecting verve. We just go bust up some verve plants, beat up some of the monsters, and we could bring them all the verve they would need. Or at least a supply of it to last them a bit.
Unless you can find our missing supply of verve canisters. Unfortunately, no, traveler.
I mean, nothing's saying we can't do that.
To make matters worse, our main source of verve is supposed to come from the grand city of Mekanot in the mountains to the north.
Doesn't this vast forest supply you with more?
Take a look outside. See how much our land has dried.
We just came from there. The land really didn't seem that bad.
There's only so much we can harvest from the forest at a time.
See, now that makes sense.
Why can't you live amongst the others in the mountains?
We are the ones who have been rejected by the Mekanot and are seen as unworthy to live among them.
Well, that seems harsh.
So you see, traveler, we are fighting for our survival.
And what can you tell me of Bertrand's wife?
Yes, Amelia. I fear I know not.
I have a suspicion she went to the scrapyard.
Our watchman sees all the goings on.
He seems like the likely candidate.
Sometimes falls asleep out back.
Great watchman if he's asleep half the time. But better than nothing. Out back, I presume he means over here. Oh, it's you. You're asleep. Hey, wake up. Wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Guess I probably need to wake him up with music. Or not. I guess he's just not gonna pay me any mind. Okay. That seems inconvenient. Is that the word I want to use for it? Yes. Yes, I think it would be the right word for that. Or verb for me. You know, if they are having trouble having enough verb to go around, and we're draining verb from this world in order to use our magic music, I wonder if we're destabilizing everything while we're running around doing our little personal quest here. Wouldn't that be a hell of a thing? Also, pretty common thing, really, if you think about it. How do I wake this man up? Because interacting with him doesn't do anything, hitting him doesn't do anything, playing music for him doesn't do anything. Unless maybe we need to play him a specific song? I don't see why any of these... And I could try healing him. I tried the ancient melody first, because that made sense. Yeah, no, neither of those worked. And I feel like using the... Oh, wait. I was right, I just was in the wrong spot. Because you would think in order to wake him up, you'd interact with him, not with this random statue up here.
Welcome, traveler.
Watchman, the Elder sent me. I am searching for Amelia. Have you seen her?
The last time I saw her, she was talking to Alexander in the town square. I haven't seen her since.
Where might I find this Alexander?
He is in the house just northeast of the town square. Be wary, though, as he tends to keep to himself.
Okay, so he's the guy in the locked room. Okay. It's interesting that he's the same model as the map guy. Which I guess makes sense. To a certain degree. Hey, I'm here to annoy you some more. Unless maybe he isn't? But then again, he is the one who definitely seems like he's keeping to himself. So how do I get his attention? Because like, it seems like there's a combination lock on his door here, but we don't have access to touching the button. Yeah, that just doesn't do anything here. Maybe we need to, like, break in through the roof or something. I assume you still won't let me through to the scrapyard, nor will he speak to me. Maybe somebody nearby will let me be able to talk to Alexander. Judging from all of the neighbors not having anything to say anymore, I'm gonna assume that's not the case. Oh, there we go.
I need to speak with Alexander. Is there any way I can reach him?
What could you possibly want from that scoundrel?
Information, mostly.
No way. But I'm going to need something from you.
All right. What?
The sheriff and I have our differences, but I love his stew.
Oh, you just need a stew. Okay.
So get me a bowl. But I can still enjoy it. Would you?
get it for you.
Fetch quest, yeah. Running around the town for no other reason but because we were told to. Yeah, yeah.
I'd like one of your stews, please.
That will be 10,000 gold coins.
You know, I think I know why they had their differences.
Just kidding. Here you go. Enjoy.
Oh, wow. If he's just giving that away, though, I feel like I know where the Verve supply's going. Here you go, old man.
Oh, yes. I almost forgot. Sometimes, in the dead of night, Alexander comes out of his home. I've heard him muttering this nonsense to himself over and over. The wind through the trees at night. Oh, I have no idea what it means.
That's the combination.
But you might be able to make something out of it. Now, Squire, why eat my stew?
You're also standing on the wrong side to be able to, like, sit down or anything. So good luck with that idea. Yeah, the wind through the trees at night is more than likely the combination for this lock here. So... wind, trees... as soon as it cycles around to the right one. There we go. And night. Ta-da!
Welcome, traveler. Leave now!
Very welcoming to tell me to just piss off immediately.
I'll ask you a few questions.
You dare enter my home? Leave now!
Do you know what has happened to Amelia?
Oh, Bertrand's vile wife? Always clinging to his side?
So you know Bertrand as well? He's in bad shape. I'm just trying to let her know what has happened.
Bertrand's in trouble?
He sure is.
You're lying!
No, I'm not.
This is urgent, please.
Why should I care? If all he did was leave us.
He was making his way back when...
I will hear no more of your lies. Get out of my home!
Well, that went well. I just wanted to see if he was gonna get mad or if I ran back in. Well, that's a dead end. Unless he changes his mind suddenly.
Hey, is there anything you can tell me about Alexander?
Mommy says Alexander is a sore loser.
Oh, is that the thing?
He always loses to Bertrand at the game. He's been losing to Philip as well. But I hear Philip's been cheating.
So this entire thing is eventually going to involve everyone in the town, isn't it? So we gotta go find proof that this guy's cheating at his game.
I hear you're on a winning streak.
Why, yes I am.
It looks like you've gained a lot from these winnings. You've won something from Alexander?
Yes. This silly little doll of his. I don't even know why he gets so upset after losing it.
Probably, you know, first the losing and also losing something he actually liked, probably.
Curious.
But don't even think about challenging me.
Why not?
You aren't even of our kind. And you don't even have the white flower offering.
Aha, so I need to get a white flower, which is going to involve the mother over here gardening, because she's got all the white flowers. And she's looking for something now.
To participate in the game?
My daughter was just running around, but I can't seem to find her. Can you find her for me first?
Sure.
She sometimes runs to the scrapyard. I don't like when she goes there.
Well, that answers when we're going to the scrapyard.
If you walk just northeast of here, you will see the stairs in the path that lead there.
And I presume we'll be allowed to go to the scrapyard because we're going off in search of the kid.
State your business.
The child's mother is worried she's in the scrapyard.
That little... How did you sneak by me again?
Well, all she'd have to do is walk around behind you and then go up the right-hand side there, and you'd never see her because you'd never move in any other direction other than looking left and down. You kind of suck at your job, bud. Also, what's stopping me just telling him that and it absolutely not being true at all? You know, ignoring that just being a believable statement, it easily could have been a lie. But I suppose I would not have any real reason to be lying to him either.
Once again, the sacred hymn she hummed is forever seared into my brain. Once we decided to move in together, I finally got to see that strange music box. It's where the melody came from. She always wanted to become a singer, and so was drawn to me for my own love of music.
That makes sense.
She loved that I pursued my dreams, even though I was barely scraping by.
That is how that usually works out. See, the thing with this is I feel like neither of these answers are completely correct. The dream is both of them. But to him, she would be the dream. Let's see, charged pommel, holding the attack button now charges the hammer, dealing extra damage. That is the right type of move for a weapon like that to have, that's for sure. Weird. I'm not gonna worry about unlocking those secrets right now. Well, actually, I do have extra material, and I don't really use the spike spell enough to bother upgrading it again, so sure, I guess we'll reveal a mystery, why not? If it even actually reveals it, or if I'm gonna have to actually figure out what map to use it on. Yep, this sure is a scrapyard. I assume they probably drained every bit of spare verve any of this stuff left laying around in here had. Oh, it's still being regularly filled from above. Huh. I presume from the city of Mechanot.
Go on, get back to your mother.
Thank you, traveler.
So we're doing this dance again, huh? I'm just gonna win this by brute force at this point. Ooh, another song. Let's heal up a bit first. Not that any of these song areas have done damage to me, but it never hurts to make sure. So left, right, down, down.
A lingering presence in the air. A melody that resonated through me.
Of course we'll listen to it. Summon Chakula. So it's just a turret. I mean, it seems useful. Really shoots reasonably quick. Of course, I wish I had gotten this before seeing the point where we could spend our currency for upgrades. So I could have made an informed decision there, but, you know. Can I summon more Choculas? That is an important question. Now, it seems like I can only have one active at a time. Unless I'm doing it wrong suddenly. Oh, it costs 3 verve. That's why I can't do it. Okay. Seems rather expensive. Heal a little bit before we die. Oh, right, I can't dash through things. Right. That almost was bad. Wait, no, it's that. Sometimes trying new things doesn't pay off. Thankfully, we still have Old Faithful healing spell at our disposal. I was debating commenting that we probably should have just been able to heal after each fight without needing to spend Verve to heal, but I'm sure later on Verve will become more and more scarce, so trade-offs about healing will actually matter more. Like, it'll be a case of, do I heal or do I actually use my magic? It's very easy to end up doing one too many inputs when you have to do, like, those back and forth rocks and things like that. Especially, you know, when all hell is breaking loose in the room you're in while you're trying to do it. That was more effective than I expected it to be. I kind of expected them to survive the charged shot. I am happy to be wrong about that. I don't know why none of those got involved, but I'll take what I can get. Speaking of take what I can get, I'm surprised he got stuck up there. There we go. You get the feeling the game took the gloves off? Because I'm sure getting that feeling. Suddenly it really wants me dead. And it's going for it in the traditional fashion of throwing a lot more angry things in my general direction. Though I do kind of hope that that's not a sign of how the rest of this is gonna go, where they keep throwing larger and larger crowds of enemies at us. Because while we can deal with that, I would rather not have it be that way. Oh, you're just a thing now, huh? You're not a boss fight anymore? Also, getting stuck on all of these things is not great. Like, if there was anything I would have, like, an actual complaint about with this game so far, it's that, getting stuck on things. Because the perspective can be a little odd at times, in terms of telling what you're actually running into or not. Looks like I might have missed a totem somewhere along the way. Now would actually be a decent time for spikes, so it's down, up, up, down. Except I kind of trapped myself in with them, but that's fine. The amount of ground that these spinning guys can cover is also terrifying. Game, please let me out. Like, I do really think that your dodge should take you through enemies so you don't end up in these awful trap situations. And you could say it's my own fault for triggering all the enemies in the room, but invariably, while dodging, I probably would have triggered them all anyway. Okay, the big guy's gone. Spins are brutal when they get multiple hits on you. Well, there's our first death, because I just could not keep ahead of all of that. Where is it gonna put me? Okay, right outside the cave. That's not that bad. And I will say, I am presuming that this cave is optional. So the fact that this cave is difficult is reasonable. I just want to make that clear as well. And I'm getting a more distinct impression that there may be more of a rock, paper, scissors to this than I had initially anticipated. Like, you can't just use one thing that's effective and expect it to always work. Probably not unless you spent all of your resources making that thing better. Even then, that might be dicey. What I should have done in that previous encounter was use the spinners to my advantage instead of getting hung up on trying to deal with everything myself. I would also love to know why he swung that way, even though I was very heavily indicating for him to swing literally in any other direction. Remember what I always end up saying, where when your mechanics are put to the test the hardest is where the veneer's gonna crack as far as how your game functions goes. And let me tell you, veneer's cracking a little bit right now. Like, I can see how people would be moved by what they're doing here story-wise. And, you know, all credit for that, because it's been decently done so far. Even though it's not something that means that much to me, specifically. But it mechanically is struggling in a couple places here, or now and then. Like how, for example, that little purple thing pushed me instead of me being able to push it out of the way, for example. You're trying to tell me that that tiny little ankle biter monster can move this full-grown adult around? That doesn't seem right. And I can definitely see myself having trouble with continuously doing these songs. Not even just from a memory or anything standpoint, but because it's gonna wear my hand out. Having to do a lot of those back-to-back quickly. So memory is also an issue here. And they just ask a lot of you at this point in here. Good lord. Like, there's just too many moving parts. Because you've got to be dodging that large creature jumping at you. You've got to be dodging all of this. You've got to be making sure to switch between the weapons you need to be using for particular situations, because you can't grab the verve plants with the hammer, so you have to pull the lantern out specifically for that. But you need the hammer to get rid of the spinners before they kill you. Like, it's just a lot. And y'all know I'm not one to shy away from difficulty just because difficulty. And I can't even say that this is difficult, it's just kind of hard to keep up with. I think might be the best phrasing for that, and for me. And part of that is, of course, I'm tired today. Had I known this was going to be this wild, I probably would not have chosen to do this today in particular. But this was not presented with this level of spam in mind. And don't get me wrong, part of the problem here is there's 3 spawners in here that I have not kept control of. But I couldn't keep control of them with the situation we had. I do not have mastery of these tools to the point where I can do that. It doesn't help that with a room this small, trying to use the knockback to manipulate those spinners tends to end in exactly what you saw there, him bouncing off the wall and hurting me more than it hurts anything else. It may very well be that this game is designed to be much more slower and methodical than I'm treating it, and that is an entire fair possibility. But it is not meshing the greatest with me at this current juncture. I do think it's a good game, but I stand by that statement of it's not meshing the greatest for me. But we'll see how it goes. We'll keep going for at least a little while longer. Because I had intended for this to be the only thing I did today. Because I expected that this would last. And gameplay lengthwise, it absolutely will. It becomes a matter of whether it keeps being the way it just was in these last couple rooms when I go elsewhere. It becomes a matter of we shall see. Doesn't look like I can do anything with this yet. And we have to get the other side of this block somehow. Okay, that's not a secret passage, that's just where the block's gonna end up. But I need to be able to get past this to get to the other side of the block, so I need to be able to activate the mechanism. So I think the entire issue here is I might actually have stepped slightly ahead of where I'm supposed to be by going in here. Just on the basis of we don't have whatever we need to activate this. At least I'm assuming we don't. Yeah, because it doesn't interact with our music, so... There we go. I think as far as the moving parts issue goes, it might help to have like a quick spell version of things, like even if it's weaker when you do the quick version. And there may even be an option for that and I didn't see it. Once we get out of the scrapyard, I'll look at that and make sure that that's not a thing I just missed. Ooh, a periodic area attack. That seems useful. Could also reveal more secrets. I can afford the stamina recharge on the specters, but I've not really been using them as much anymore. That would have actually been pretty effective in that room, but again, it's a lot to keep track of. If I didn't have to remember the inputs for all of them, I would probably be using all of these a lot more consistently. But I unfortunately am not the type to be able to hold input patterns like that in my brain all the time. Same reason I don't play fighting games that much. I'm no good at holding input patterns. So this also is hitting a defined weakness of mine, I suppose, is the best way to phrase that. Oh yeah, I wanted to take a look to see if there was a setting for what I was talking about. I'm pretty sure there isn't. But we don't even... I don't think we have Virtuoso. Yeah, it doesn't do anything yet, so that's an ability we don't have. But everything else we've already used, so that proves that statement.
Thank you so much, Traveler. She told me what happened. I don't know how else to repay you, except with this.
I mean... I'm sure there's more things you could have given me than just this flower, but that's all I need, so that's fine. Now we can beat this fool at his own game.
I bear the white flower and have come to challenge you. I'm playing for the doll.
No wages for first-time players.
All right, let's play.
Okay. I assume this is basically just shuffleboard. So if I knock him out of the circle, we win. But I can also set up a field where he has to knock mine around in order to get anywhere. Uh-huh. I think we all can tell that he cheated there. Because I was lined up perfectly and somehow my orb didn't make it. Yeah, there's magnets or something going on here. Because those shots were pretty clean.
All right, let's play for the doll.
Are you sure you want to play again? You'll lose.
I know he's been cheating. Maybe try seeing what's in his house just south of here.
I'm glad he's been allowed to keep playing this game when literally everyone is saying he's cheating.
Seems out of place.
Uh-huh, he's got a magnet drone running around down here.
Ah, so that's how he's been cheating.
Well, that's an easy fix. Just smash the drone, and then he can't keep cheating.
All right, I have something to bet. Let's play for the doll. I will bet this coin.
What use would I have in that?
I cherish it. Someone special gave this to me, and I'll do anything in my power to get back to her.
Fine, let's play.
Now that his drone is gone, it should be a fair game. Now, I'm assuming it's still possible to lose this. He's playing worse, though, I can't help but notice. Okay, I went a little too light on that. Aha, that's your game, huh? Not quite the result I wanted. That's not terrible. This is really hard to turn this arrow, by the way. Because it doesn't turn the way you think it would. His left is making it go down, right is also making it go down is making it go down, up is the only thing that makes it go up. It's very strange. Gotcha by one. Not so easy when you're not cheating anymore, is it?
Here, take the doll.
So why have you been cheating?
He stole it. I knew it was him.
Oh, he's turning red.
Stole what?
My verb. My verb. We are suffering. They found me in a scrap pile. And now I'm here and I'm lost and welcome, traveler.
Don't worry, I'll talk to him.
Huh. This has gotten more complicated, hasn't it? Turns out they're not as safe from the red-eye plague as they thought.
Strange. Where could he have gone? I should take a look around. This seems out of place.
We really are poking our nose into everybody's business around here, aren't we? Explains why he never leaves home, though, if he's got this whole setup back here. He's also not here. I don't know if I like this situation. He's got something to hide if he's all the way back in here. There he is.
Leave now.
You've been the one stealing from all the townspeople? Why? Why would you do such a thing?
They're taking away my life. Humiliated me. Threw me down into this hole. This disgusting town. I know. I was someone special up in that city. There was someone up there who needed me. I just can't recall who.
Try to calm down.
Calm down? No, I won't. The only way to survive is to do what needs to be done.
And what needs to be done is hoarding all of the verve in the city?
I've won this back for you. Someone told me that this doll is important to you.
How did you?
Doesn't matter. Now there are others here who need you. Please, do what is right and return this verve to the townspeople.
I haven't been shown kindness like this since Bertram left. Bertram, you fool. Why did you leave us? Oh no! What have I done?
Oh, now you understand what you've done, huh?
Alexander, what happened to Amelia?
She couldn't wait any longer for Bertrand. I told her she wouldn't be able to get to him without a way to protect herself. So, I had her trade me her remaining verve for a weapon.
What kind of weapon?
I'm ashamed you must be of me.
It doesn't matter now. I need a verve canister to get to her.
Please, take it. I swear, I shall return the rest.
I assume the verve canister's for getting through the cave.
And do tell Bertrand to come back.
Well, we fixed their problems, which are unsurprisingly caused by one of their own. Nothing new there, huh? But at least this was easier to solve than I expected. While it's cliche to suspect the shut-in, unfortunately, with how quick he was to try to push people away from him, it was pretty clear he had something to hide. You have any thoughts on the matter?
Want to know the goings on of the town? Seek the watchman. He sometimes falls asleep out back.
I wanted to talk to you about the fact you had somebody stealing verve from the town and that you'll be getting your verve back, but I guess, you know, why would we want to talk about such things? He's asleep again, and that's fine. I did not walk through that door game, but okay. Turns out the area for that's a little lower than it looks. I assume we want to go into the cave up here in the scrapyard that I cleared out. And the canister will open the path. I'm just not even going to deal with all of this mess along the way. I see no point to fighting them all over again. But this being an intended and required path now makes me change my mind a little bit about the situation in here. If this is the case, which... No, this isn't reacting to me having the canister, so maybe this isn't where the canister's used. And what? Huh. Well, never mind then. Perhaps we need to come back here later. So I guess the Verve canisters to power the elevator then? Because as much as he was sure that we needed the Verve canister, I'm not entirely sure what he's thinking about with the Verve canister. So I don't remember interacting with something that needed that. Like, they said that the bridge was gone, the elevator was kaput, and there was no other path. Where is the thing we use, then? I guess it would be down here. Because we never went down here.
I have a Verve canister. Will you open the door for me?
Ah, there we go.
Sure thing, traveler. May I ask what's so urgent?
I suspect Amelia might need my help.
Well then, get on with it.
We've been on quite the long side path here, huh? Because technically we're supposed to be pursuing the fate up in the town. Yeah, I didn't figure that that was going to have lasted that long.
She was no more. Curiously, it looked as if many years had passed. So much time lost. I knew this forest was strange, but not cruel. Coming out of her chest was what could only be described as a heart. It only felt right to take it. Maybe it could help him. As I picked it up, I felt an odd strength rush through my body. I need to return to him.
So she was definitely defeated by the creatures of the forest we've been dealing with, I presume, based on the root jammed through her. And I'm guessing that simple blade there beside her is the weapon she bought. You know, Alexander, you really could have sent her out with a better weapon than that. Also, you sent her the wrong goddamn way.
Dead? Why did I get involved in this? All that time wasted. Only to discover a corpse. How? How will I tell him? Stupid. Stupid. It was too ambitious of me to go on this quest. What am I doing here?
You're doing the best you can. Trying to do the right thing. And we're clearly going the right way. Judging from the little wooden sculptures we still keep seeing.
I felt the heat against the back of my neck. My breathing intensified. I felt a stabbing pain in my chest. The cool sweat that ran down me was my only solace. Why did I ever travel to this place?
Good question.
I continued to wonder in a panic. It was my first time adventuring to a new town to play. Up until then, I was thankful that my manager had secured the gig, even though it was only for a few coins. The dry wood hissed as the flames rose and broke me from my stupor. The only thing that came to my mind was my instrument. My damned instrument. I had to get to it. To save it. To secure it.
Oh, was the place he played at burning down then?
Without it, I was nothing. This is what I told myself.
Yep, we're in another memory. Oh, the flames are pursuing me. I thought I was gonna be, like, looking around this place. Turns out, no. We need to get the fuck out of here. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go right now. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go.
Lying under that rubble, my senses dulled. My hearing, my speech, sense of touch. Everything began to fade. As I drifted into the light, I heard a faint voice. I still don't know who saved me or what they said, but at the time, I wish that kind soul had just left me there.
Yeah, considering the amount of pain he was probably in, that's kind of kind of expected to a certain degree.
For I was a fool.
That too. He made a real fool choice, but it's an understandable choice in the situation. Oh, now we're just here. Wherever here is. Oh. It all comes full circle somehow.
I heard that melody again. Only this time it had awakened me from my delusion. As my eyes adjusted, I saw her shadow, dancing in the light.
I mean, we can see her clearly. We're standing right next to her, pretty much.
As she turned to me, she smiled. The fire illuminated her with a wonderful glow. The light sparkled in her eyes, and she said, "Come, friend, sit." What happened? How did I end up here?
It may sound silly, but sometimes I hear whispers coming from the statues.
We all have our unique abilities around here, it seems, so I'll believe it.
I went to investigate, and I found you lying unconscious.
Strange. This forest can seemingly make one go mad. Anyway, thank you. I don't know what would have happened to me if it weren't for you.
Well, I couldn't just leave you there.
That pendant in your headband. It looks like one of those animal sculptures I've found.
Ah, yes. This is a totem. My people used to wear these. They said it would give them great power, but you'd need a relic to fully unlock that power.
Your people?
Yes, my people.
Huh. From someone stuck down in chains to a bird.
But they must have perished long ago. How are you still here?
My ancestors left this place generations ago.
You've returned.
My mother told me wonderful tales about this place.
Yeah, that checks.
Mystical, magical tales.
And you, of course, wanted to see them.
As far as I know, I'm the only one left.
I'm sorry.
Huh. That's why I'm here. To find out what happened to them. So why are you here?
I lost someone dear to me. A woman. I loved her.
And you think being here will bring her back?
Well, sort of.
I was told there was a machine here. One that could grant wishes. One that could maybe change my past or take me back in time.
We should strive to build a better world for ourselves, a better future. My mother always said this. She felt that if we were always living in our past, we were never truly living.
You know, this was not intentional, but it's kind of funny that a bunch of the things we've done lately have run on this same theme of don't stay in the past.
Isn't that what you're doing here?
What do you mean?
Living in the past.
She is chasing the past, but she's also living firmly in the present while doing it.
If you had the chance to change the way things were, though, wouldn't you take it?
I don't know. Well, anyways, I'm happy to see you awake. Before you leave, take this relic. I found an extra one in my travels. I hope you find what you're looking for.
Thank you, and to you as well.
What do I call you?
Traveler.
Fitting. I am Asphodel.
You know, not the name I expected. My brain was telling me it was going to start with an A, but I didn't know what the rest of it was going to look like.
Until we cross paths again, Asphodel.
Okay, friend. Until next time.
Okay, we have a relic slot that we gained. Oh! 1 bonus health. Dash bar regenerates faster. Nah, I like the idea of an extra hit point. At the rate this is going. Yep, already did that game.
I need to return to Bertrand, but I also think I'm ready to face the fate.
Okay, so it is... We were supposed to do this in this order. Okay. So that was actually required, not a side path. And again, if we went and faced the fate without even knowledge of how to use relics, we probably would have been in trouble. It would have been significantly harder. Yeah, Bertrand was just down here, I do believe. Because we happened to cross him on our path through here. I didn't stop at that statue because we didn't really gain any resource we could spend. Question becomes, is Bertrand even going to still be alive? No. He's gone too.
Time had somehow passed.
It's almost like we were gone for hours, my dude, and he was grievously injured.
So much time. His life had left him, and I was faced with a choice. I had this heart. Her heart. His heart. In a way, I thought it fitting that the lovers be reunited. But on the other hand, it gave me power. And maybe there was someone else who could use it more than me.
Huh. Here's the thing. He says it gives him power. But I can't really say that we experienced any power from it. But then again, we also didn't do much since we got it. We ran through fire, tripped balls for a moment, and got saved by Asphodel. But Bertrand was the whole reason we went on this side trip in the first place. I feel like we're better off closing the loop, if that makes sense, and not selfishly taking the heart of his love.
I returned what was once his. Although he was no more, I felt no justice in keeping it.
Well, it seems to have accomplished nothing, except making me feel slightly better about things, potentially. But perhaps that will have an effect later in the game. So I gotta say, hell of a bad track record we have so far. Bad things are happening everywhere we go. That's not to say that the bad things happening everywhere are our fault. But it depends on how you view this world. This world being this little magical forest we're in. Because if, for example, since the door we were told about is different depending on who is viewing it, what's to say more about this place isn't adjusting to suit the person interacting with it? Who's to say that this isn't specifically a construct of the traveler to begin with? Like, there's no guarantee any of these mechanical people we've been interacting with, or any of the monsters even, actually exist. the very least, the fire he was just in didn't exist. Considering he was just found unconscious randomly. That was unfortunate. I also don't know why it bounced that way to begin with. That at the very least wasn't what I intended. I don't know. There's a lot of potentials to this world. And I think at the very least I'm going to see what happens with this fate situation. And then we'll make a decision from there whether we'll keep going or if today's going to be a short day. That's the split I've got in my head right now, going more or less constantly. I'm very interested to see where this plays out.
Themselves gods, putting me to the test like this. This has to be where the fate resides. I need to find a way inside.
I'm very interested to see where the idea of this game is going. Just the game itself is not blowing me away. I do think it would be worth checking out if you're interested in this type of thing. It is, after all, just a $20 game, which isn't too bad. Good night, ABC. And it may very well be, as well, that some of this stuff will get worked on that I'm talking about, considering this game's only been out since April 11th. It's not been out that long. And there's a decent amount more game left. I took a peek at the achievements to see whether all of them would be labeled for all the chapters, and there's 12 chapters listed there. So, you know, you balance out 12 chapters against what we've done here so far, which makes this about a... Let's see. We're a quarter of the way in with 3 hours, so it'd be about a 12-hour game. Yeah, 12 hours sounds about right. And that's not counting any side stuff you'd be doing. Finding all the secrets and everything. This block puzzle is also sublimely simple. Assuming I'm meant to put these on all the pedestals. You just push this one around the corner here, so that it ends up naturally sitting there. And then you just push this one up, because it naturally rests there. And that might not be the answer unless I'm meant to turn this around again now that they're placed. Nope, that is exactly what you do. Aha! Except no. No, it isn't. Not entirely, anyway. There's something more to it than that. Because we had one of these moved before. But now it's not. Yeah, see, those stairs lift in this configuration. There's something else to interact with in here? Or have I completely misunderstood what the intent here was? I'm gonna move these blocks off of the buttons and see if something different happens. Because it really feels like these are buttons. They don't seem to be doing button things. Ah. Because I did it too early, it was blocking them opening. I presume that was the entire problem. Or at least that was part of the problem. that causes them to close back up again. It's also very interesting that it skips from the right to the left. It doesn't actually rotate to the top at all. This is such an odd scenario we're dealing with here. Okay, I'll deal with that in a moment here. I just saw a message pop up and I was at least giving it a quick read to get an idea whether it's something I needed to immediately respond to. Just bear with me as far as that goes. I do have to assume that I'm misunderstanding something here. Unless maybe these just need to move further. Like maybe they're just not lined up completely. Because maybe it's just a case of the perspective's not quite where I think it is. That is, of course, not guaranteeing anything. The fact that these have metal plates out implies that these do something. Is this a stupid situation of only very specific block go on very specific platform? No. This doesn't appear to be. Oh wait, nope. That one went down. So yes, it is specific block for specific platform then. Because you notice they kind of magnetize in as well. Not gonna lie, game, you might have wanted to mark these in some way so that it's not just a crapshoot of which one goes on which button. But hey, we figured it out. So now we've got the first bit of stairs, and now we rotate this the rest of the way around to bring up the other set of stairs. But I do wonder why there's that light. Considering the light doesn't seem to do anything. But perhaps there is something that it does interact with.
Welcome, traveler. Welcome to the Museum of Ikao.
You know, it's a museum. Interesting.
Has been collecting these artifacts for some time. Here you will find a mask of an ancient Ikao.
Okay.
And here is one of their ancient pots. Look at that craftsmanship.
That is a really nice pot.
This beautiful specimen is a piece of an obelisk. Do you feel its power? At last we have a slate with some of their earliest stone writing.
Interesting that you have a hammer and chisel next to your example of early stone writing.
I'm sorry, but this isn't what I'm here for. I need to speak with Arcarel.
Terribly sorry, traveler. But Arcarel is not seeing anyone at the moment.
Bold of you to assume I was giving you a choice in the matter.
In fact, she hasn't seen anyone for some time. If you have any questions about the artifacts, don't hesitate to ask.
Oh, I may as well look at these.
These masks were only worn by the great protectors and leaders of the Ikao. It is said that they had inhuman abilities.
Interesting.
As we all know, magic doesn't exist.
Well, joke's on you. I've been doing magic the whole time.
The ancient Ikao people were incredible craftsmen. We still do not understand how they built these incredible temples with such rudimentary tools.
Magic.
Maybe they had some sort of existence.
Don't you start with the ancient alien thing. I will dismantle you.
Let's not speak of
Why not?
Why not?
There is much anguish regarding the obelisks and this forest. It's best to save that tale for another day.
It's not like either of us are going anywhere, because I'm not leaving until that door opens.
Although they perished many years ago, the ancient Tikal had a complex language. It is said that they not only spoke in written word, but had a way to communicate with each other and the forest through melody and song.
So perhaps that song Asphodel sings has more meaning than we think. And why is it sitting out in the middle of the open, in the middle of the museum?
This stone is granted the ancient Tikal people with the spirit of the animal each totem was crafted from.
Looks like some kind of mole? Not entirely sure what that's supposed to be. Not gonna address any of the other things in the room.
Please, I need to speak with Akarel. I'm looking for a way to find the machine that grants wishes.
Well, why didn't you say so? Please, proceed ahead.
It was that simple, huh? Just had to say please, basically. Saying please does get you a lot of places. You seem to be having a moment. How about I come back later? No, let's just get it over with.
The wind through the trees, the chirp of the birds.
Some spooky looking claws you got there, lady.
The beauty of the melody, like whispers of the ancients. So, you finally come at last to release me.
Release? What? No. Please, I'm just looking for a way back to the woman I love. I need to find the machine.
The machine. You seek that path, do you?
What do you mean by that path?
That is how you find your lost romance.
Well, the machine apparently grants wishes, so unless you got another idea, which I for one would be all for hearing, but I don't think Traveler here is going to be all about that.
Very well. Your journey is one that shadows, Traveler.
So far has been, yeah. A lot of tragedy, a lot of bad things. Most of which he's kind of just gone, oh, that sucks, and moved on.
To save them, you must do them.
Huh? Why are you talking in riddles?
It is time.
Just kind of watching her pattern for the second. Doesn't seem too complicated so far. But I assume it's going to get more complicated as the fight goes on. Ah, I tried to bat her out of the air. Great. Oh, you know how I said it probably was going to get more complicated? Yeah, there we go. Oh, we're just doing this again immediately. Okay. Really don't get a lot of warning on the lasers popping up. Kind of weird how the safest phase to attack her seems to actually be when she's just clawing at you. Because at least that can only hit me once. As opposed to the laser phase that can just keep hitting me. Because we really don't have iframes either. It's kind of mitigated though by the fact that we can heal so readily. And in the previous phase, she's dropping healing, essentially. Like, not literally dropping healing, but you get the point. We can knock Verve out of her when we're hitting her in this form. which is the other reason why I'm not that scared of her claws. So what I probably should do is left, right, down, down. Summon the statue to attack her. Oh, that's the area attack. Okay. Oh, she's doing more now. Okay, when she pulls up there, just get further down in the room. Also, summoning the statue to attack her probably would have worked better in the earlier part of this fight. Before, she was unreachable for most of it. Now she's gonna fly through again and deploy bullets. Now she goes up there, and we just stay down here so we're out of range. Oh, she's got a machine gun now. Aha! Well, that's rude.
That's not the way it happened.
I kind of figured, you know, maybe she was gonna stop at some point. Turns out no, she just keeps shooting that stage of things. Some of these lines of dialogue are skippable and some of them aren't, and it's a little weird. Getting cheated on that first hit too. Be really helpful if the statue would actually hit her. Like, she seems designed to avoid your attacks, because you can see her just backpedaling away from me there, for example. Spectral motion might be worth using. Down, right, down, up. You know, if she didn't immediately teleport away the second I tried to use a thing. Oh, and turns out this wasn't a phase-based thing. This was just she didn't happen to use any of those until halfway through. Okay. Interesting. Not gonna lie, still seems like I might be better off just saving my verve to heal myself. Oh, she's got more than one aerial attack. Understood. But yeah, the constant backpedaling is actually really annoying. It's like, hey, I hope you didn't intend to ever make this fight go somewhere, because trying to attack her when she's not willing to be hit kind of is annoying. And it's not like it's a great idea to attack her when she's doing this, because all that does is get you cooked. So I think you can out DPS that, but not easily. I don't know. Doesn't help that half the time she apparently doesn't trigger the flame rune for inexplicable reasons, even though she was like right in the middle of it. Like, I get that she's floating, but come on, game. Let me have something in this fight, you know? And by let me have something, I don't mean let me have a laser to the face. That's also not what I want. Okay, that does hit there. Oh, that just cancels my attack too, huh? Okay. I was kind of hoping maybe I could just, like, charge parry her or something. Something stupid like that. Hey, you're meant to be getting Verve back in that phase of the fight, but ever since the first go-around, she just has been refusing to let me hit her or during that phase. So it's like, what's the point? How do I achieve anything here, then? It's like, the laser's easy to avoid as long as you don't get screwed by perspective. Oh, and the pillars hurt you too. Great. Great, love that. Yeah, thanks for not letting me see myself at all there, game. One. I don't know why she's just chilling, but I'll... Oh, that's why. Because the phase is changing. There we go, that was a good round. Since she has a health bar, I do wonder what the point to breaking the pedestals are. Like, is breaking the pedestals gonna stun her or something? Yeah, she seems upset. Maybe that just prevents her from doing that move. But y'all know by now that my favorite thing is when I don't get to participate in a fight. And let me tell you, chasing her around like that really doesn't feel like great participation in the fight. And of course, you just get punished for most other opportunities you would have to hit her, so that's exciting. Like, don't get me wrong, I have no problem with her trying to dodge me, but I feel like her being, like, basically guaranteed to be out of range is kind of annoying. Like, it basically forces you to have to spam dashes at her to hope to hit her. But this doesn't attack out of dash consistently enough. And I got a bad pattern, so we were fucked there. My only hope would have been to dash down, but I had to read the pattern and I couldn't read it fast enough. We were so close that time, though. Come on, let me skip the dialogue so I can get somewhere here today, please. And you can't even open the escape menu. Yes, yes, scream, scream. Like, you almost have to trade blows with her in this phase in order to do any damage. And while you do get Verve back, it's just not efficient. Like, it really feels like you're fighting a losing battle while doing it that way. And then now and then you'll see that she ends up in more reasonable positions to hit, and it's the inconsistency there that makes me feel like it's not meant to be a case of you're supposed to do something specific to hit her there, and it's just sometimes she's just really annoying, and other times she isn't. The lasers also don't seem to start in the same spots every time, which means it's kind of a crapshoot whether a laser's going to start on you if you're still repositioning to block the lasers, which is a little bit problematic. Like, getting hit by the slams, those are my fault. I fully accept that that's my fault. They may also want to consider not having the tops of these platforms be as solid as they are because it makes it a lot harder to maneuver around this room, and it's arguably unclear because it's easy to run into the ledge there without seeing what you're running into. You're just running into perspective, basically. At least breaking that doesn't take that many hits. But I do think it would, like, it should also do damage to her or something, rather than just disabling one move, which really doesn't seem to do that much, unless maybe it also disables the laser, her move? Not the middle laser, the long laser. Because that would make it somewhat worthwhile as well. And maybe there's a thing where you could attack her while she's flying by as well. I was greedy there, trying to move this fight along. Like, obviously, you could use your Verve for things other than healing to speed this up as well. But considering how a bunch of the moves that I tried went, I'm not that convinced about that idea. The spikes might be okay for when she's flying around, but you'd have to bait her back into them. And even then, that's not a guarantee, so you're burning a Verve that would otherwise be used to keep you alive to maybe do damage. I think that's one of my big problems with this. Okay, that was worth it. Just die. Take the release you desire.
At last. Silence. I swore to protect its memories, but now I have become one. Thank you, Traveler, for releasing me.
It's interesting that they wanted to be destroyed, though. Artifact of Fate obtained. I'm assuming that Artifact of Fate is just gonna open... Like, it's just gonna be one of the 3 keys, basically.
What have you done?
She attacked me.
Doesn't make sense. Unless, please, take the daughter. She will want you to have it. And be wary of the other fates. Not all may be as kind as a Corel.
Mole power! I'm slightly surprised I was right that that was a mole.
Shame. A civilization dependent on a leader who's willing to throw its life away. And what's this about releasing? Alright. Well, at least I have what I came for.
I think it's kind of callous to say... willing to throw its life away.
Welcome to the Grand City of
Corel? The Fate?
She used to come down from her temple. Though I've heard from the
I thought we talked to that one already before.
standing atop the temple, gazing at the forest below.
Yeah, I'm assuming things here have gotten bad to the point where just existing here was awful. And we have no idea how long this has all been going on and how long she's been here. Or any of that. So there easily could be quite a few actually good reasons why this is the way it had to play out. But I do think I will let this be something that y'all can figure out if you so wish to play the game, rather than showing you everything. A little bit of a shorter one today, though not by that much. It's only like an hour to a half hour shorter than I usually do. Like I was saying, I'm not super energetic today. And this wasn't doing a ton for me. Like I said, it does seem solid and it's interesting. And perhaps it's all a matter of timing on this one as well. Like, it may just be that it's not hitting me at the perfect time. That's always a possibility. But I think I will pack it in here today. Got a few options in, but I think with where my energy's at, I think I'm just gonna pack it in general today and not send off a raid. Unfortunate, I know, but sometimes it be that way. This way I can get some other work done to see if I can at least balance the scales out in my head for having not gotten as much as I feel like I would have wanted to done today. But schedule coming up, nothing too special. I was originally gonna have today and tomorrow be Lurkit games, but I think I may kick the other Lurkit game to next week and just kind of do something random tomorrow. Because I'm wondering if doing these is part of why today's energy was off. I don't think it's the case, but, you know, you gotta flick the switches and see what happens, basically. Other than that, we will have a Lethal Company lobby on Saturday. That's already been more or less arranged. I've got 4 or 5 other people in for that. So that should be interesting considering it's been a while since we've done any Lethal. And then, of course, from there we loop back to Monday where it's Legend of Dragoon and then Mandragora. And more than likely, that week's Thursday will be a repo lobby. And we'll be back to that loop again. Because I've got a handful of very interesting people I want to get in for a repo lobby. But with all that said, thank you all for your time. Sorry today was not the best I could do, but sometimes all you can do is what you can do, you know? Take care, everybody. Good night.